Welcome back to the Sooner Surge signing day. Early signing day is here, and the Sooners get another one signed, sealed, and delivered. And Jayden Jackson from IMG Academy, another anchor on this defensive line class, this really elite defensive line class that the Sooners are expected to get all signed. And Jayden Jackson, a guy who's been in high-level competition, played with David Stone, really probably maybe even underrated. If I can even say that, I think it's accurate to say, guys, he's underrated.
Yeah, he's a low 4-star. And I mean, at the time that he committed to OU, he was a 3-star on most services. And we were really saying how underrated he is. He's finally got a little bit of respect. But I mean, if you watch an IMG game, I know a lot of Sooner fans were familiar with the game against St. Joe's Preps because that was the David Stone game. He's committing at halftime. A lot of fans were watching that game. And you really saw the domination between the two of them. David Stone had one of the best games of his season that night, and Jayden Jackson was right there behind him all season long. That was the case for Jackson. You can tell the chemistry between the two of them. It's no shock that they're both going to be wearing the crimson and cream as the Sooners head into the SEC this year.
Well, and don't forget. I mean, yes, I agree with both of you. I think he did come in a little underrated, under the radar earlier in the year. But don't forget, he was also going to commit to Texas, or committed to Texas. I mean, so this was a guy that a lot of people, a lot of big time schools thought maybe was under the radar. And for OU to land him, obviously Stone played a huge part in this. Um, but like Stone, I mean, he's playing against really good competition, and that matters. We're going to, we've talked about Okoye being a homeschool guy, not as much competition, but Jackson's been against big boys and he's performed really well. And he's had a great senior year. So I expect big things from Jayden Jackson.
Yeah, and moving into the SEC where OU is going to be, again, to me, the film of Jayden Jackson, he's a hole plugger. He's going to be in the middle. He's going to be hard to move. He's going to be that guy who is going to get penetration play after play up the field, force guys to the outside where OU is going to have some edge guys being able to collapse down. But everything looks better when you have guys in the middle. Okay, that's a fact. Go look at any elite defense, linebackers, say everyone across the board is just going to be happy to play with guys like Jayden Jackson because he's going to make them look so much better. There's going to be a lot of times Jayden Jackson may not get credit for much, but he's going to be the sole reason other guys make plays, guys. That's who he is. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's already been talked about with some current Sooners this past season with DJ Terry, Jacob Lacey at times kind of was in that conversation. Isaiah Coe as well. Of they're not showing up on the stat sheet, but they're doing their job. There's stuff in the middle. They might not be getting the tackles from it, but they're allowing guys like Danny Stutzman to get more tackles, Jaron Kanek, or any other linebacker. And like Jayden Jackson, he's an early enrollee, 300 pounds already. That's massive. As he's coming into the winter's semester starts January 16th. To already be at 300 pounds when you first start your workouts with Schmitty, like that's a big deal for OU. Especially as they go into the SEC. You need those big time defensive linemen in a conference like the SEC where the games are won in the trenches. And Jayden Jackson is kind of the start that the Sooners need as they head into the unfamiliar territories of the SEC.
Yeah, and to get one would be great, but getting both is even better. And also the thing about it is, I mean, Brent Venables probably wants to run a little more three-man front than he has been because they haven't really had the people to do it. I think now you have some guys that can play on that three-down lineman and play in that middle and do what they're supposed to do in that. Because I think we've always heard Brent Venables wants to be multiple, wants to be multiple, wants to be multiple. I don't think he's been as multiple as he'd like to be. And I think maybe going to the SEC now with another recruiting class stacked on last year's, I think he's getting to where maybe he feels like he can maybe do that.
Yeah, you look at the interior defensive line. Dejon Terry's returning. Jacob Lacey's returning. Those both were announced within the past week. That's massive. You also have Grayson Holton. He's impressed a lot of people. He's impressed me in the few times you get to see him. Watching him almost block punts as a 285-pound defensive tackle. Like that's unreal that he's able to move like that. Then you also have Jayden Jackson, David Stone as well. That's what the Sooners need. They need that depth in the middle, and everyone's familiar with the goal line stand that we saw against Texas. We almost saw it again against UCF before a boneheaded mistake. You have Dejon Terry back. He's played in the SEC for a couple years when he was at Tennessee. Now you have Jayden Jackson as well. Like, yeah, he's going to be a freshman, but there's a possibility you can have a goal line package where it's those two guys in the middle. That's scary for an SEC offense, if you ask me.
Yeah, and look, Grayson Halton has impressed me a lot too. But if you go look at Grayson Halton's freshman body, it's not comparable to a guy like Jayden Jackson. It's not even close. So again, credit to IMG Academy, honestly, and the weight and the strength program, because Jayden Jackson, I'm going to say this on several of these guys, he looks the part. And I understand eye test definitely isn't everything. I know it's not. Okay, I've been around long enough to know better than that. However, it's a great start for freshmen to already pass the eye test, and he is going to push and push hard, not just on the field. I'm just talking about in general to play as a freshman. That they're not going to sit there and redshirt him so that he can put weight on, so that he can get stronger. I don't see that even as a remote possibility, guys. I think he's pushing to play from the get-go.
Well, go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, even if he doesn't play a whole lot, I mean, he's for sure going to be in something like that goal line package. Like, you're going to get your 4 games through that, as they're also trying to get him up to probably what I would say 330, 320, 330.
Yeah, I was thinking 315, 320 probably. But
yeah. I mean, he has the size for it. He's already 300 pounds when you're coming out of high school. Like, that's a massive advantage for OU as they're trying to get him completely ready. But I mean, him alongside David Stone, I mean, I think they've called each other Batman and Robin. Like, it's going to be, you'll see that chemistry between the two of them translate to the next level at OU.
Yeah, he's got quicker feet than you would think too. I mean, he really does. He's pretty quick for his size. So, and I'm interested. Stone going with that number 0. I wonder what Jayden Jackson's going to wear. Be interesting to see what he pulls out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be interesting to follow this class because, again, the excitement around with this top. I mean, you could say top 6, top 5. We'll see in the end. This is early signing day. There's more to come, but the Sooners land a great one in Jayden Jackson from IMG Academy, one of the anchors on this defensive line for multiple years. Congrats to Jayden Jackson and Sooner Nation. Another one signed, sealed, and delivered. Till next time, Boomer.
Sooner.